Hi guys, how everyone is doing? Today we are going to discuss about Bitcoin USD chart. Let's look at monthly chart. So we are trading at 3970 level on Bitcoin USD Bitfinex exchange. So last month Feb is quite bullish. If you look at this monthly candle, it covered the whole bearishness of January month. And now we are trading to the upside a bit. So what does that mean? It means once we get a breakout of 4300 level, we are going to see a good upside around 5200 level on Bitcoin. Is there any possibility like the Bitcoin going to $1,000 level? Well, it can happen in long term, but before that we should have a good structure, good bearish structure, good recovery on Bitcoin, so that there should be a lot of buyers in the structures, so they panic sell to trigger to the downside, right? Currently we are not having a much of volume. How can it go to the downside? Okay, so can it go? Well, as long as these lows are intact, I won't be getting any bearish signal on Bitcoin right now. And this block on monthly chart is very important. Why? Because it's a takeoff zone of Bitcoin before the exponential move. So monthly is bullish due to this teaser bottom structure, which is bullish. And let's look at weekly now. So the weekly chart, we are trading inside 3500 to 4100 support zone. Okay, and we didn't get much of downside impulses to say like whether it's gonna trigger to the downside or not, but we can see some pennant structure, and people will say this is gonna trigger to the downside with the bearish flag or bearish pennant structure. But for that, it needs to get a good downside break or downside impulse to take out these lows. This low is around 3600, right? So well, I will not be convinced to the downside as long as these lows on Bitcoin like 3400 is holding. Why I'm saying that? Because if you look on the daily chart, okay, let's look at the daily. We got a selling climax. We got a selling climax in December, and then we got an automatic rally. If we relate to Wyckoff accumulation zone, so we got a downside, we got selling climax in here, and we got automatic rally, secondary test in phase 1, and then test of the resistance zone in phase B, again secondary test towards this block, but it didn't tested it properly. If you see, there is not a single wick in this range. So okay, let's see whether there is a spring or not. So what happened, we got a good impulse after that, right? This is the impulse, and now we are drifting down in here. So you might be wondering whether there would be a spring zone, like to take out the lows here or to test this range. So for that, it has to break 3760 level. These lows should take out. Okay, where it is. Okay, so if these lows are taken out, 3760 level is taken out, then there would be a possibility we will drift down again towards 3200 level, but I'm not convinced with that possibility. Why I'm saying that? Because if you see, in 50% of the cases that spring would not come, and people will keep waiting, like whether it is gonna touch the lows or not. It will simply make a cup pattern in here, rounding bottom, which we call it Adam and Eve. So this is the Adam and this rounding structure is the Eve. So it's a double bottom structure which will carry the momentum to the upside. Is there a possibility that we will retest 3200 level again in the spring? Well, there could be a possibility, but as long as 3760 level, these lows are intact, we might get a good momentum to the upside, forming the rounding bottom with a cup and then a breakout and forming bull flag around in this area, in this resistance area, and then we might get breakout to 5200. So there could be a possibility like we drift down like this and we form a major structure in here, and then we will form a bullish pattern here, and then we will get a breakout. It could be one of the possibility, but as long as 3760 lows are intact, we could form this rounding bottom in here and get a good volume breakout in this area. And if we consolidate in here and get a breakout to the upside, we will get a good trade with the stops below the lows and entries at the breakout level, and we will trade it for 5200. And if you want to trade the swing failure of this structure, what you can do, wick up and the next candle take it to the downside, then what you can do, you can take the opposite entry, as simple as that. You can take the entry in here, taking the stop as the high of the candle. Let's say there's a some wick in here, and then you will trade for the test of this range. Okay, so these are the possibilities or the potential trading setups on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. I'm having a bullish bias on Bitcoin because I looked at monthly chart as bullish, weekly. If you look at weekly, there are not much downside impulses, which is putting me in the bullish bias. And if you look at daily, we are getting this Adam and Eve structure, and if we get a breakout from this 4100 and forming a build up in bullish structure, maybe a pennant, bull flag, whatever it is, then I will be trading that breakout. For the bearish case, we should see a strong and downside impulse, and we consolidate in the lower highs pattern. Let's say we form some pennant like this. We got a good volume, downside impulse, testing this zone, getting some upside, again drifting to the downside, and we squeeze in this structure. What will happen then? We will form the same pattern what we have formed around 6k level. Then I would be convinced like, no, it's not getting to the upside. Okay, right now there are not good downside impulses, which is putting me in upside bias. So let's remove this. Yeah, so if you are bearish, be careful at the moment, because we can get a breakout and then the continuation to the upside. So that's my view, and I will update you guys as we progress further into this pattern. And if you like the video, just give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.